Hey Virgo, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings, so we take what works, leave what doesn't, as with everything in life. If I don't catch your wavelength or storyline here, check your other major placements. And this week I'm doing things a little different again. I'm going to start with a more traditional tarot spread, and then we'll do an extended where if the more traditional tarot spread resonates with you, you can go over to the extended on Vimeo. I have the link in the description box down below. And then we'll do the more intuitive cards and the oracle cards for that part. So I've already shuffled and cutting. And the overall energy is Queen of Coins, thinking about your next career moves for you personally, how you want to move, what you want to do next, or somebody is. It's either you or somebody you know. It seems like it's probably going to be you. Money on the mind, career on the mind, and the next move, next place to go. Planning it, maybe not necessarily executing it yet, but thinking about it and planning it. This is or not necessarily career. It could also be just a next move, maybe with housing, maybe with something else. It's going to be something very tangible. How you want. It's thinking about your next move in reality. Past, present, inner landscape. What's at issue? Environment, to-do list, possible outcome. A lot of coins here. Enough coin. Well, there's 2 coins at the beginning here, so there's so overall we have, oh, that's fascinating. Overall we have a couple of coins here. So definitely thinking about, at least in the first part of it, and then it's going to unfold into other ideas here. Thinking about career moves, money, management, and something very tangible, not necessarily career, I call it, but something very tangible, maybe something you spend your time and money on is the focus where we start, but then there's a lot underneath all of that. A lot of other things going on here. So we started off with the Queen of Coins, thinking about the next move. There's something you have in mind that you want to accomplish, that you want to achieve, that you want to manifest in reality, make it a reality. So there's something that you want to make a reality here. We start off in your recent past with a King of Coins. So we have a match set, which is always, I don't know, interesting and fun. King of Coins here, recent past. You've already succeeded, or this could be someone you know, or this could be yourself. It's a court card, so we're talking about, I think of those more as like baseball trading cards where you actually have like a person and it's someone with a name and some stats on there, right? So this is an actual person. It's either going to be you or someone you know, someone you've dealt with in the past. They're organized, they're successful. Very successful in the real world. They're able to make things happen. They're able to have a dream and bring it to fruition through the whole process. Very action oriented. Again, it's an earth sign. It's, you know, similar to you. But this one's very organized, very precise. They really think ahead. They plan ahead. They invest for long-term gains and long-term growth. Time is always on their side. This is someone who really uses time as a multiplier in their blessings and their ability to bring things into the world. They feel that time is on their side. They understand the different dynamics. They plan ahead. They think ahead, and they're very successful. They've already succeeded. So this could be you. You're already very successful, or you've succeeded in what you've wanted to do, what you've wanted to accomplish, or something else you'd like to accomplish, but you've definitely had a certain amount of success in at least one area of your life here. So top of your game, successful leadership, possibly. You've been involved in leadership. Our kings, of course, are going to be leaders. And the queens are very focused on themselves, their next step, their next move, their inner landscape. But the kings are very much external leaders. People look up to them. People learn from them. People look to them for leadership. And this one has been very successful. Their leadership is very much out in the open. They're seen as a leader. They're not just privately leading. They're seen as a leader, and people tend to follow their advice and what they want to do. So this is someone you've dealt with in the past, or is perhaps yourself. Successful leader. So, and currently we have 10 of coins. Ten of Coins in this situation is pretty interesting to me. Ten of Coins is it's reached the fullness. This is as far as this is going to go, right? Ten of Coins, we're done with the process. We've completed some sort of process in reality. We've built our home, we've built our wealth, we've built our legacy. This is a lot about legacy. Ten of Coins is the inheritance card. So in a way, it's like the thing that's making the money, it has maxed out. We're maxed out here. There's time enough for, we might be experiencing a lot of abundance right now. We've been successful. There's a lot here. There's time for pleasure. There's time for our hobbies. But also Ten of Coins, to me, it's the end of the cycle, the end of the suit. There's something here that's it's fulfilled. The promise has been fulfilled. And like with an inheritance, so when we talk about an inheritance card, we're talking about the wage earner has ceased to earn the wages. Like there's no more growth expected from this wage earner because they're dead. So there's no more growth expected here. But it is time to enjoy the fruits of those labors. This person has ceased to so it can be a situation that's brought everything it's going to bring. It's fulfilled. It's as fulfilled as it's going to get. Or we've reached a plateau moment here where then this would explain why you're looking at the next steps. You're looking at what you want to do next, where your next fulfillment is. You're looking to your own career because this is something sort of financial or in the real world or in a job. You may have reached a plateau moment in your job where there's not really a lot more growth that you want to that you can achieve here. You've already achieved something. You've already been very successful. You're in a way resting on your laurels, enjoying what you have achieved, and enjoying the abundance of past labor and past work and the enjoyment of it. But with this Queen of Coins here, it looks like that's as far as this goes. There's no next level, or you've reached a plateau or something. It's not that nobody's having a good time here. It's a fun time and fun place, but there's just no place else to grow. There's no next step. We're enjoying the fruits of our labors, and we've worked hard. We've gone through the process. We've really thought ahead and made our plans and executed them well. And it's been a successful endeavor. And so we're having a moment where we're really enjoying what we were able to accomplish and achieve. Hopes, fears, inner landscape. Six of Cups. So Six of Cups is traditionally going to be reuniting with a spark from our childhood. Typically, we talk about a person from our childhood, or we can also be talking about hobbies or enjoyment. There's something here, though, especially in this card. This is childish, so I'm going to read this as a hoping to reconnect with a younger part of yourself, or someone you knew or something you knew from your youth that really sparked a lot of joy. There's a sense of imagination, creativity, sharing, playing, and I read this. This is just a really interesting depiction because normally we have them sharing and receiving. Both are depicted in the Six of Cups card. There's a bouquet that's being shared and a bouquet that's being received. We have our bouquets here, but someone might be lost in thought, dreaming, and not necessarily capable of receiving. This could be a fear that's coming in here. If you it's almost like if you play with someone, are they going to play back with you? Are they going to, if you reach out to someone from your past, or if you reach back to your past for an old hobby, an old thing that you enjoyed doing, or a person, are they going to be able to respond, or are they engrossed in something else? So the Six of Cups typically is a simple pleasure of reconnecting with something that really sparked us back in the day. But there's also a sense here that a concern possibly that it might not be the same, it might not work. But then there's also a reading here where she could be reading out loud to them and to the other one here, and they're playing around and they're engaged in imaginative play together. So there is like withheld communication. there is in this card, there's withheld communication and maybe giving flowers instead of communicating, right? He's holding onto a bird, like almost strangling this bird, holding it back, this communication. And one is finding communication where they can in this book, and one is withholding it. And yet there's still this sense of shared play, which I find interesting because it's almost like an outtake of what's going on in here. This is almost like a smaller picture. There's all this success, and then we sort of like zoom in here, and here's like maybe a little bit of tension here. So this is what you're thinking about. You're thinking about this connection. You're thinking about communication and not communication. If somebody gives, does somebody receive? And you're maybe thinking about there's like this uncertainty here. There might be someone you really looked up to and they're unaware that you really looked up to them, that you really admired them. They may be completely unaware of this. And you're wanting to communicate, but you're not sure it's going to be received. And it has something to do with your childhood. This is always true of the Six of Cups. It has something to do with your childhood. Right? The oblivious babysitter that you just loved and adored, but did they remember you? Do they know who you are? Do they care? Like, there's something here about wanting to reconnect with something or someone, but not quite sure how it's going to go. What's at issue here is Four of Swords. So coming out of a break, coming out of a nap time, coming out of break time. This could also be a very serious illness, right? So the Four of Swords in the upright is going to be nap time. Four of Swords in the reverse can be a serious illness coming in here because we didn't take the nap when we were supposed to. And now our bodies are throwing a temper tantrum at 9 o'clock at night because we're overtired. So getting overtired and just overworked, too exhausted, almost too exhausted to be able to find your way to the resting point. But this could also be waking up from the nap. And like, this has been a fun break. We've had a really fun vacation. We've enjoyed the fruits of our labors and had a really fun time. And now it's time to pull out of that and get back to work. We've been able to rest, recalibrate, and getting back to work. So there could be a sense of having really enjoyed yourself, having had a lovely break, enjoying the fruits of your labors, enjoying, you work all year round. So you take a 2-week vacation here, really enjoy the fruits of these labors. And now it's time to get back to work. Or it could be, I just feel like there was like a lot of rest and recuperation and playing and a play time and play period that you might be coming out of here. And this is why you're like thinking, it's almost like the perfect Virgo reading in Virgo season. We're back to school. We've had this vacation and now it's like back to school here. And you're thinking about, the supplies you might need and what you might need for a return to work and return to labor after a nice vacation here, well-earned vacation. And so, though in your environment, we have the Star card. We have a touch of destiny coming in here, a moment in the sun, a moment where it all comes together, a moment where we're in the flow, the light's shining on us. There's a spotlight coming in here. There might be a spotlight shining on someone you know. And that could be making you think about, okay, well, what do I want for my next career move? Like, you could be seeing somebody in a new light, in a way that's sparking you to think about how you want to approach the next year, the next school year, so to speak, how you might want to approach that. You may see something, someone else may be in the spotlight and you're seeing them very clearly. You're seeing what they're doing very clearly. You might be jealous or envious of them. This could also be for you though, but it's not something you're doing and it's not coming from you. It's in your environment. So there's almost like maybe a searchlight in your environment. Is it going to shine on you? Is it going to shine on somebody you know? And it could be just this moment of destiny for something and someone in your environment. There's something sort of a light being shown on something that you see, or a light being shown on you, but you're not in very much control of it. It just kind of happens to sweep over you, and you are seen. a moment of destiny. So there's some sort of destined moment, a moment of destiny going on in your environment. So something going on in your life right now that's a little bit not really coming from you, but it could be something else, someone else. It's destined to be this way. So don't, it's not something to be jealous of, or it's not something to really question, because it's just, there's a sense of predestination to it. There's a sense of something happening here in your environment that's meant to happen exactly as it is. And so your to-do list, Knight of Swords, moving forward, very brave action, brave communication. So knights are communication, swords are communication. Very brave, honest communication. If there's something that's been bothering you, it's time to bring it to the light. It's time to take care of it, to slay that dragon of whatever's been bothering you, something that maybe has been difficult to deal with, but coming out, there's a rashness, there's a bravery here. It's going to take a lot of courage for you to communicate a truth and honesty. There's a sense of almost a brutal honesty, but it's absolutely necessary in this situation. You don't want confusion. You don't want, to just wound the dragon and have it limp home only to come back and bite you. You really want it clear. You want, if there's a dragon to be slayed here and you need to, and the truth is what's going to slay it, you need to be extremely clear and direct. I'm not saying be mean. I'm saying finish the job. Saying there's this dragon. You don't want to just wound the dragon. You want to kill the dragon, right? Don't pull your punches. If you need to speak clearly, it's this clarity here. Don't pull this punch. If you're going to be in a fight, I don't see this as a fight necessarily, but just as a metaphor, if you're going to be in a fight and you're in a situation, you're in a tight spot, and you've got to be the one that strikes, and you have to punch, you want to knock them out. You want to knock the enemy out if you're dealing with something like that. I don't think you are, but as a metaphor, you want to knock it out and then you go away. You don't want to just bop them on the nose and make them mad, right? I've done that. So you don't bop them on the nose to make them mad. You make it a knockout punch. So this is a little bit of what I'm seeing with this Knight of Swords. Sorry, this is what I'm seeing, is you got to finish the job with a lot of clarity. Just be clear, very clear communication, and it might take a lot of courage, but it's so interesting because there's this success and enjoying the success, and then coming out of kind of a little bit of a sleepy time nap period, this destiny, and then I'm finish the job, right? Just speak your truth. But that's what it is. It's going to take some courage, and it might be a lovely truth. It might be a gorgeous, loving truth. It might be a great communication, or it could be take this job and shove it and I'm not coming back, but make sure you mean that, right? So saying what you mean and meaning what you say, there's something about just a lot of clarity, and not leaving anything unanswered, not leaving any doubt about anything. And then possible outcome, the Emperor. Ooh, I like the going from this king to the Emperor. The Emperor has a divine right to rule. You're in charge of your life. And so this could be quite a leveling up, right? We're looking for the next level here. So, but you need to be truthful, and you need to be honest about something, and courageous about this movement. And swords are not just about communication, but intellect, understanding, smart. You have to be, I think that's what I was trying to get at. You have to be very smart about this move and very smart about this communication. And you have to initiate it. You have to be smart about it, clear about at least your intentions going into it. At the very least, you bring the clarity here. And then this possible outcome here, we have the Emperor. We have even another level above the king, already so successful, but here you are at a next level. This can also be answered questions about who's in charge. Well, now you've made it clear with your communication here that you're in charge, or who needs to be in charge. There's a sense of that being clarified. There's also a sense of receiving a message, a divine message, which we almost have with the star here. And then we have this Emperor with a lot of self-control, very intuitive, as far as like being really in touch with the energy of the universe. And I just want to say divine communication. It's almost like, this is strange, but it's almost like a prayer warrior vibe here, or not a prayer warrior, but someone who's very much connected to the divine. And that's where they get their ability to make decisions from, and their clear mind and their power is their connection to the divine and to themselves. The same thing, that light, when you die, the light in your eyes is going to go out. But right now, as long as you're alive, you have it in you, and it is that divine right to live. It is your divinity, and it is a divine right to live. But there is like a sense of self-control being necessary for this, to be able to handle these messages, to be able to make these decisions, these big decisions. So some sort of, yeah, it's almost like this is a bit of a power move here that actually levels you up in something in your real life. So, all right, Virgo, I hope that that was helpful for you. If this sounds like your message, you're welcome to come over to Vimeo for more cards on this message here. And thank you so much for your likes, subscribes, and comments. I'll see you guys in a while.